It's the holiday season, and there's a lot to be thankful for. I'm thankful for your presence. I'm thankful for your willingness to keep fighting. I'm thankful for you just being here. You see, I know that there are times when you ask yourself questions that just don't seem to line up really well. I know that there are moments when there doesn't seem like the world hears you. But let me be sure to assure you of one thing: you are seen, you are heard, and you matter. I need you to do something that might be more scary than you think, but it's really not. It's just being brave about who you are and where you at. Dial three numbers 988. If you are thinking of doing something to harm yourself, don't. Just simply reach out and get help from somebody. Talk to somebody close to you. Get some support. And if you can't find somebody, reach out to me. So before you make a decision that we have to live with, make one that you can live with and call somebody and get help. Now let's talk football.
Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back.
Pride Nation. Oh man. All right. Pride Nation, what up though? Listen, I know y'all gonna expect to see some Patty Luke today. Might be a little bit in there. I don't know how much, but might be a little bit. Because if it's one thing that I love about our community is they love to keep receipts. And because of that, I've learned to keep my own set of receipts. And I'm just gonna be honest with a lot of y'all. Some of y'all just not gonna like what I got to say today. And that's okay. That's perfectly fine. I am absolutely okay with y'all not liking what I'm about to say. But what you cannot do, under no circumstances, is deny what I have said and what I've been saying. All right. Now, we're going to get into it. And I'm going to allow some of y'all to hop in and get y'all vent on because I believe it's necessary. All right. I believe it's warranted to get your own frustrations out in ways that allow you to be heard. Okay. And if anybody going to let you do that, it's going to be me. All right. Now, before I get myself going, let me see who in the building with me today. We got my man Ed W956 in the building. We got Gifted 26 in the building, which I believe is Rumble. We got Giovanni Lyon in the building. Low Tier Trash in the building. We got Dr. Detroit in the building. We got Looney Tune in the building. We got, make sure I don't forget nobody now. We got Friendly Neighborhood Lion fan in the building. We got my man Butt Chug 94. That's hilarious. That is absolutely hilarious. We got my man Makai Holt in the building. We got Lions Raw Detroit in the building. What up, though? We got K Corey 11KC in the building. Respect. What up, though? We got YNS boy Joe 31 in the building. There is a guy I caught Luke on Patty time. I'm gonna try not to be. My plan is to try not to be. All right, Ducky Con in the building. We got Arthur Williams in the building. I'm gonna make sure I don't forget nobody now. All right, we got my man Steven Farmer in the building. We got, let me see, make sure I don't forget nobody. All right, John Kaplan is in the building. All right, make sure. Let's see. All right, did I hit everybody? All right, let's have some fun right now. Let me bring y'all back to a certain date. Okay. Let me bring y'all back to a certain date. You know what? Let me bring it back up. That's what I want to do. I want to bring it back up because really and truly, I don't think people listen to me and hear me in the way that I'm saying things. I don't speak to be right. I don't. I speak because I see where things are going. Okay. I see how things are going. And the reason I speak the way I speak on topics that's so far fetched out of the box from what other people speak is because I'm not just taking the recent headline. I am truly evaluating every single thing as if though it is an investment. And if anybody has ever made any type of investment, whether it be a IRA, a Roth IRA, 401k, the stock market, whatever, you know you need to pay attention to information and the information that presents itself. Okay. And the reason for you doing that is because you want to make sure, okay, that what you said gets its respect and just due. Now, there's a few things I'm going to point out because people love to say, I am crazy. I don't know what I'm talking about. I don't know football. I'm trying to make sure I don't miss none of the stuff that I have heard people say. And truly, I find it funny because it would be interesting if somebody said something that happened and people heard it. All right. Let me start off with some of the obviouses. All right. About, I want to say, about 2 months ago, right? I did a show previewing the Detroit Lions versus the Packers, the first game of the season. All right. The first game of the season. My bad. My bad. All right. So I'm showing this because I want people to understand something. My man's, what up, though? He said, whoop, wrong profile. All good. I know what it is. What up, though, Easy? Now, I said this 2 months ago. All right. I got called crazy for it. This is just to show receipts. All right. This is just to show receipts. Because I expect you, when I say something crazy, come back and correct me. All right. But this is 2 months ago. All right. And if you don't believe me, September 6th, 2025. You can see it clear as day in the description. September 6th, 2025. Somebody said this. Somebody said this following statement right here. Because I'm trying to show y'all that I pay attention to information, not to be right.
And what you think about yesterday's game? My overall view of the game is it was a lot of just uncharacteristic Detroit Lions. Like, it looked like the Packers were the Lions and the Lions were the Packers. They imposed their will on us. We just did a lot of dumb stuff that we didn't have to do. There's even one play I thought they were going to flag Amon-Ra St. Brown on because he was trying to double switch. He punched.
Now, this is talking about mentality, right? This is talking about mentality, and this is talking about this. Now, watch this, people, because if only somebody tried to warn you, if only somebody was willing to just keep it a buck, let's listen a little bit further.
This is where I think it gets down to the nuts and bolts, because I don't really want to spend too much time on the signing and stuff. But I think that what's going to happen is we're going to start to see certain things, and those things are going to be questionable at best. And then we're going to get upset. I get it. You're going to have a lot of people you got to sign. So, cool. And you may be holding on to that money. Cool. Hell, they may be waiting for people to get to the bottom of the barrel just before the trade deadline to make a move. That's cool. Now, here's what I believe. And it took me some time to think about this and to try to figure it out. But to me, this is the only thing that makes sense. I kept asking myself, why would the Lions draft a defensive tackle with their first pick? Like, I kept asking myself that. And I kept saying, like, this doesn't help us. And most people's thought process was that they did this because when DJ Reader leaves, we'll have a D tackle. That's what I thought. But the more I thought about it, I think that the answer was in my face the whole time, but I just didn't want to believe it. I believe that they took the D tackle not because they're trying to replace DJ Reader, but because they're going to move Aleem McNeil out to the other DN spot to play opposite of Aiden Hutchinson. And he would then take the defensive tackle spot with DJ Reader this year, so that way they could now make Marcus Davenport the situational pass rusher. Call me crazy. Give me your thoughts. I just think this makes the most sense.
Now, ironically enough, what do you know? They put Aleem McNeil at fucking DN. What does that got to do anything about what happened on yesterday? Simply put, I told y'all that your general manager has failed to address key weaknesses within our damn team. And what did y'all do? Y'all focused on a few draft picks, not looking at the fact that most of his best hits were first-round picks, and you want to hit on your first-round picks. That's good. And yes, he has a few late-round picks that he hit on with Kirby Joseph, Amon-Ra St. Brown. That's cool, too. Brian Brent, second-round pick. That's cool. But being a GM is more than just drafting. It's trades. It's free agency. And I told you off rip that you were going to see a lot of this stuff coming to roost. Because here's what you don't understand. You can only ignore something for so long. And they continue to ignore the defense in a way that it needs to make sense. Here are some of the things that I'm not going to take today. I'm not taking any excuses. I don't want to hear about officiating. I don't want to talk about who didn't and didn't play well. I find it funny that we have blamed every coordinator. We have blamed every freaking player. We have blamed the head coach. Hell, we blame the ownership. The only person we could not talk about was Brad Holmes. Make no mistakes. I want to be clear in this because some of y'all don't really listen. I do not want them to fire Dan Campbell, or I don't want them to fire Brad Holmes. But I want Brad Holmes to treat this thing like it's supposed to be treated. This is the 5th season, people. This is the 5th season. Okay? 5th. And instead of us being closer to a Super Bowl, we are further away. What more evidence do you need to see? You want to know what happened in yesterday's game? Look no further than the game that happened with the Eagles and every game this season. You don't have a pass rush. You don't have a threat of a pass rush. I can go through and point out all the things that's been wrong with this team. But it keeps coming back to the same damn problems that we talked about already. Well, at least that I talked about and been talking about for a while and been told that I'm out my mind. Let me be clear. Let me be clear. I do not want them to remove Brad Holmes or Dan Campbell. This is not a fire them moment. This is a wake the fuck up moment because things are not what you think they are. A Super Bowl window is closing faster than a nun's legs. You understand me? Shout out to my man Anthony from Royal Lines UK for that one. There's no way possible. There's no way possible that we're going to sit here and act like we're going to overlook this stuff. And what pisses me off is how we as a fan base have every excuse to try to explain everything. Oh, see, we're adding this guy in here so he can take over for DJ Reader. Who does this? Who does this? Now, once I'm done with my rant, I'll let y'all join me. But let me finish my rant. When I go through and I look at teams who had a Super Bowl window and how they moved to seize the moment, I walk away saying, why we ain't doing this? Eagles sold out more than one time to get that championship. They got it twice. One time it didn't work, or 2 times it didn't work. But they still sold out to get it again in the repeat. The Rams sold out to get that championship. Broncos have sold out to get that championship. Okay? All of these teams have sold out to get that championship. We still talking crazy about we're building it the right way, man. Slow and steady. Let me tell you something. Slow and steady only works in making love, okay? And I'm going to tell you right now, even that get boring. I'm just being honest with you, okay? There needs to be a sense of urgency. I don't want to hear about 4th downs, okay? Because here's the thing. That's a mentality. And for all the people who want to talk about the 4th down crap, newsflash. He could have took that freaking field goal plus another freaking field goal. They still lose by 4 points. You know why? Because you don't have the depth that you thought you had from the general manager that you thought you have. You don't have that. Tell me this. How the hell is Muhammad taken out in favor of Davenport? Did anybody happen to notice anything Davenport did good in that game? Go ahead, I'll wait. You're not looking at this in the way that it should be looked at. You're not talking to yourself and saying, all right, Brad, why are you bringing back a guy who's been injury prone on 3 separate teams, including the one he's on now? I'm going to keep him and get rid of a healthy Zadarius Smith. And don't get it twisted. Zadarius Smith ain't that much better than Marcus Davenport. Who said that? Me. I said that. Ben said it. Ben told you that's not an upgrade. That ain't no good move. But it got hyped up. It got hyped up. And people ate it hook, line, and sinker. But you know what he is? He's available. He's the least available. This right here is a direct result. This is not a coaching issue. This ain't no play calling issue, which, by the way, somebody else said something about, like, why we keep blaming the coordinator when the players ain't executing. Who said that? Me. This is not a play calling. This is a personnel issue. You can't scare the other quarterback. When you're playing Green Bay, when you're playing the Eagles, and you're playing all these people who quarterback is sitting back there knitting and crocheting and then throwing the ball, ask yourself a question. Why are we not getting to it? What do you want a coach to teach his players to get to the quarterback? Some people are just dogs. It's either in them or it's not. I got yelled at for agreeing with a perfect analogy from Miko, shout out to him, for saying Aiden Hutchinson is Greek yogurt, which means him by himself is just plain. But him with something is like adding fruit and honey to your Greek yogurt. It becomes delicious then. And you're sitting up there with a chance to take a pass rusher who is literally on a team loaded with pass rushers, and they got rid of one and still got a bunch of pass rushers, and Mike Green, and you take a run-stopping D tackle. And the fans go crazy. They can't believe it. You're so focused on what he did that hit. Yeah, he hit on some picks. Yeah, he told y'all a positional value of some bullshit. All those things. I get all that. And yes, he's had some mistakes. But you people who are the slappies and the grand ambassadors and the apologists for Brad Holmes refuse to point out the negatives in him. I can't get better if I don't know what's wrong. I can't improve upon something. Because you imagine going to work every day Let's say you work at McDonald's and I order a Big Mac and you keep putting it on the wrong bun with the wrong toppings over and over, and a manager never say nothing to you, and you've worked there for years. And one day he finally had enough and comes and says, you've been making this thing wrong for years. And your thought process is going to be what? Why didn't you say something in the first place? I thought I was doing a good job. You have to tell somebody and point out when people are not doing certain things. All I kept hearing is Hutch gets double teamed. I watched this man get blocked by tight ends. You know who ain't gonna get blocked by a tight end? The guy that's not making as much as him, Myles Garrett. He's the highest paid pass rusher, and he still ain't in double digits. We got 5 games left. 5 games. And they don't get no easier. And in case you missed it, I thought the Eagles was going to beat the brakes off of the damn Bears. Bears apparently seem to be riding high on their confidence. They look like the Lions when the Lions was playing with confidence. And notice it's not a Ben Johnson thing. It's not. It's a, oh, we're better than you thing. See, the Lions think they arrived because they made it to an NFC championship game. The Lions think they arrived because they went 15-2. But they don't think about how they blew opportunities and how the general manager can aid in that. I don't give 2 flying nickels if Dan Campbell ran into the office of Brad Holmes and said, I got to have this D tackle. His job is to tell him, hey, I understand that, but I think we can do a better job at this position. But if you want this D tackle, I'm going to tell you right now, if it don't work, I'm going back to me taking the pick. You just cook the meal. You took a run stopping D tackle. Come on, man. And here go the worst part. Some people was out there playing hurt. Love hurt. Jacobs hurt. Okay? Now let me just give y'all some fun facts. Before that game that was just played, do you know what the Lions' chances of making the playoffs was before that game at 7-4? It was 75% to make the playoffs. And if they would have won, it would have been 86%. 86% if they would have won. But with them losing, they now have a 60% chance to make the playoffs. You want to know what the Bears' percentage was? At 8-3 to make the playoffs, 59%. You know why? Because many people were looking at the schedule and they were assuming that the Eagles, the Packers, the 49ers, and the Lions are going to beat the Bears. I can't say that no more. They've already eliminated one of their obstacles to go to 9-3. And with the Bears winning, they would have went up to 76%. Now, why does that matter? You still can make the playoffs, but I'm not trying to be funny. You're going to limp in. You're going to limp in and you're going to limp out because you can't touch nobody. You have no threat. When I told you that this man need help opposite of him, so your money in him can be valued the right way, I was told, oh, he gets pressures. Well, you want to hear a fun fact? He's got a lot of damn pressures this season. And in a lot of those games, they lost. Pressures don't matter if it don't result in a negative play. Who cares? Oh, he had 24 pressures and he had no sacks, no quarterback hits, but he got 24 pressures. Empty stats. Shit that nobody talks about. And here's the worst part. Lions fans immediately went after Dan Campbell. Not Brad Holmes. They went after Dan Campbell and Calvin Shepard. Just like they went after Ben Johnson, Anthony Lynn, Johnny Morton. Just like how they went after Aaron Glenn. This fan base has went after every single damn coach but the GM. And you have no pass rush. You got a Giants tackle, I believe he's a rookie, who was unimpressed with the highest paid pass rusher in the game. No respect. Even said, for the most part, I was left on the island with him. He didn't do nothing until that last play, which he peeled off and ran back. And that play only happened because Lee McNeil dog walked the guard to the quarterback. I'm sorry. Anything you say today, I'm gonna say you're right. You want to say that? You want to talk about Dan Campbell? You right. You want to talk about the offensive coordinator? You right. Defensive coordinator? You right. This player sucks? You right. Whatever you say, I'm gonna say you right. Because no matter what I say, you're still going to do the opposite. You're still going to roll with the pundits and all the group. I'm not rolling with the group. I'm taking real-time information and calling a spade a spade. And I'm going to be honest with you. The Frank Ragnow thing, this is my first time getting to talk about it. I'm not impressed. Because before this, Frank Ragnow was struggling. That foot injury had him off his game. And I'm not trying to be funny, but how much more can he help? If he comes back for next week's game, cool. But that foot injury was nasty. Bad stuff. So if he's not going to be here this year and next year, what's the point? Just another way to get people more excited with bullshit. I love Frank Ragnow. But there has to be a comprehensive plan here. And what's the point of getting a Frank Ragnow in and getting a line together when we're going to have to win shootouts? Because we don't have no freaking pass rush. And then if we blitz too much, fan base going to say, well, why are we blitzing here? Because your freaking front four can't get to no damn body. People like, why don't we use Brian Brinchmore on blitzes? Because you don't have another freaking safety. Kirby Joseph's not back there. Half the passes that them quarterbacks been making all this week is because Kirby Joseph is not back there. Your best safety is Brian Brinch, and you can't keep having him rush the thing. Like, come on. And here go the worst part. You're finna be picking somewhere in the teens, and Brad Holmes is going to sit on his hands, fall on it a few fucking times, smell it, and do nothing. How big of a window? You got people like Rob Parker on the Odd Couple talking about the window is closed. And you know what? I can't disagree with him. Because I don't see anything that suggests that we're getting better. I told people this earlier. I got receipts. We're not the only team trying to get there. Other teams going to get better too. I mean, come on. We have to start calling a damn spade a spade. And the team is not going to get better with us just being fans and acting like everything is gone. They have to be better. They have to do something that is going to elevate them. People are not scared of Aiden Hutchinson. And when I mean people, I'm talking about the players. Because that's all you got. Here go the scary fact. You're not going to like this. The best D lineman you got is Aleem McNeil. He does not need anything to be added to him for him to perform. But he can only do so much. This is just not it, man. And I don't like for people to look at it like, oh, it's no big deal. Yeah, you're going to still finish the season with a winning record. And it might not be enough to win your way into a playoffs. And if you do get into the playoffs, because I know everybody say anything can happen, but let's use real information. What do you think is most likely going to happen? Because you're going to probably, if the Lions make the playoffs, they're going to end up playing the Packers again in Green Bay. You think they're going to all of a sudden generate some type of pass rush? Let's say you don't play them. You play the Eagles. You're going to get some pass rush? Seriously. I just think it's funny. And I think that it's concerning that people are acting shocked by this. Not everybody wants to be up in arms. Not everybody wants to talk about Brad Holmes. Like, we good, right? That's the quote that everybody want to point out. But it's not about the quote that we good. It's that he has been given blind praise thinking that I'm doing a perfect job. But you didn't seal the deal, Brad. And I know you can be better than this. I don't need you to just be a scout. I need you to be a GM. When you look at his free agent moves, I'm telling you right now, DJ Reed, in my opinion, I wasn't impressed with that. I told you, I love the Lions, but I'm also a Bucks and Seahawks fan too. And I remember Reed on the Seahawks. Even when you get pass rush, DJ Reed he gonna have some ups and downs. Amik, he had a day yesterday. But that's hard for me to evaluate and blame cornerbacks when there's no pass rush. When a quarterback is just sitting there. Literally. I don't want to hear about, oh, we played man all day. What do you want them to do? Go in the zone? You think that's going to buy them more time? Seriously. We gave up 3 third-round picks for Tesla. There's no Sam Laporta. And let me make sure I don't botch his numbers. But I think we only targeted him twice. I could be wrong. I feel like we only targeted him twice. Oh, I'm not wrong. 2 targets, 2 catches, 35 yards, and a touchdown. You can't get the ball to this man? I'm watching our quarterback literally already decide in his head when the ball is snapped who he going to throw the ball to. And I know somebody's going to say, well, because your offensive line suck. Or how about you understand that this is football? You're going to get hit. Like, I'm sorry. There was one play where he had no chance. Straight up the middle, they hit the shit out of him. Nothing he can do. But there were other plays where I'm like, bro, you got to let that ball go. He had a really good run. I like that. That was good. I know everybody talks about the pass that he threw to J-Mo. Oh, it was behind him. It hit his hands. If that was a female body part, he wouldn't have dropped it. Hold the fucking ball. Catch the ball. He's still body catcher. And that's why his hand's not as strong. Or the play call is predictable. It's not predictable. It's poorly executed. And it's because you don't have the depth that you thought you had. And it's funny because these are all the same complaints that I heard people talk about with Bob Quinn. He helps add in hurt players. So does Brad Johnson. So does Brad Holmes. He only can pick good players in the first round. Show me where there's a difference. Brad Holmes got a high draft pick, took Penei Sewell. Bob Quinn got Frank Ragnow. Like, Brad hasn't missed on a first round pick. They're the same fucking people at this point. And I don't think that we should be acting like this is not a thing. You have a small window and you have to take care of it. And unfortunately, this is what it's going to take in order for us to get the result that we want. And here go the sad part. Watch this, y'all. Y'all going to love this. He's going to draft the offensive lineman with that first pick. Because that's the trend. Give Jared Goff everything that he needs, and I'll get the rest for the defense later. If you went and looked at all his transactions for free agent signings, even those deals are dirt cheap. They're dirt cheap. So, you know, I could keep going, but I put the link in the chat. Feel free to join me. But let's be honest first, okay? Let's be honest first. The number one priority going into this thing is a pass rusher. I'm not even going to talk about all season until all season is here. But I want to be clear. Number one priority is a pass rusher. And after that, you need another legitimate offensive lineman because Manu ain't it. I don't know how long it take a goddamn lineman to get up to speed, but Penei Sewell did just fine. Mahogany, when given the chance, did fine. I don't get it. And your secondary is getting ready to get more tested than ever. So again, I'm merely making a point that this is a good thing. I'm not even mad. This is just a good thing for me because it's going to force him to come to the grips about the reality of this team. It's important. Let me bring in my first guest, Ed W. What up, though?
Sir Luke, go man, go. I did enjoy it, and everything you said about Brad is so true and on point. And thanks for the receipt. That was very enjoyable.
Listen, I sit back and listen. I'm not trying to be right. I'm telling you what I'm seeing in real time, and I'm like, yo, we addressed the ability to get after mobile quarterbacks? No. Have we addressed the ability to get the quarterbacks in general? No. Man, Aiden Hutchinson was hurt, and we still was 20-something, and we was 12th in sacks as a team. With Aiden Hutchinson back, we're going to be at least top 5. We got 5 games. We got 5 games left. This man still don't got double-digit sacks.
And he won't. He's just not strong enough, to my opinion. He's fast and athletic. He just ain't built for it. But I just want to kind of walk with you a little bit on the Brad thing. I get it. I do. But the thing is, with all the high fives and the praise that you saw and all the picks and everything, Dan was ecstatic. Dan was right next to him. They had the big bro hugs. These are people that Dan wanted as well. Dan wanted these and coveted these guys. And I feel like, this is just my personal opinion, Brad and them two, as they said, they were lockstep. I don't think that they're so in lockstep anymore. And all the faults are starting to show as far as the flaws of their fundamental knowledge of building a team. They built, but they just didn't. They built it with the fluff. They didn't really cement anything and say, okay, cool. The we got Hutch. We got a Liam seem to be doing. They didn't take and fix up spot. So they went too quick to the next flashy item. Not saying the same thing with Jameer. I'm not saying Jameer, he's great. Don't get me wrong. But how great can you be if you really can't get through and keep moving a line like Montgomery can. So I just want to say that if in this next thing, given where we may fall, it's going to be, I'll say, between the low 20s. We're going to probably be, what, 22 to 28 maybe? We still got a long-ass wait. So what I'm trying to get out there is, who can we trade? Who is that bait to send out? You know how you said, hey, these teams are sold out to get there. Who can we sell out? Who can we release to get that, garner that pick that we can covet? Do you have an idea?
I don't want them to sell nobody. I don't want them
It's
to sell
going to be hard to get that pick.
But here's the problem. I'm not. You got to understand.
Mhm.
With the NIL, it's too hard to go into the offseason saying, "Oh, go after this person. This person's coming out." We don't know because they're getting paid now. Before they had an incentive to come out because they wanted to go get paid. It's hard being a college athlete and you hungry. Trust me. So what I'm saying is, I don't really, want to get into the shoulda, woulda, couldas and stuff like that. Rather they pick 22, they won't be 28, but rather they pick 22 to whatever. You have to still figure out how to make that work. Okay, and to me, this was the year. In my opinion, this was the year, if not any, for you to do that. When you took this damn run, stop, and D tackle, you still had the following players on the board: Jahad Campbell, Carson Schwarzenegger. You gonna tell me we didn't need linebackers? You still had people like Mike Green on the board.
You was very high on him.
Like I'm just saying, and if you really want to get into it, you have to look no further than saying who could have came in and helped us. Like, who could have came in and helped us immediately? There were people who could have did it that would have been better suited than a D tackle. That's all I'm saying. And I don't want to sell nobody. You know what I mean? I don't want to sell nobody when I got time to get stuff done.
Yeah, but don't you think it's going to be a very hard case now to carry this? What everybody's saying, like the 500 billion or whatever, half a billion salary thing that we're dealing with right now, and still pick up somebody?
Nope, I don't think it's going to be hard, because if it's hard, then he needs to go right now. His job is to make it look easy. It's not for him to. It's not for it to be hard. You got to still evaluate. You got to ask yourself this question: how did New England do it so many times, and they were picking 32?
Yeah.
How did they do it so many times? And this is another thing that drives me nuts when people talk about, oh, good teams extend their Super Bowl window. No, those teams are called dynasties, and we are not one. Dynasties extend their Super Bowl window. The Lions are not that. They needed to have a sense of urgency, and they didn't have it. And when you go through and you look at it, the only thing I ever hear people praise Brad Holmes about is drafting. I don't hear about free agency picks. I don't hear about trades. You went through this whole season and walked out without a trade partner. You mean tell me you couldn't find nobody? You couldn't even pry the hands off of Trey Hendrickson? You couldn't get that guy who's on the last year of his deal from the Bengals? You couldn't do none of this?
I see you. So your sellout method would be to draft when the trade value was there, to take and go ahead and grab somebody out of free agency. You think we're one free agent away?
No, I think we need more now, because
now, yeah, but back then we were one.
But back then, I think we were like one or two players away from really just pushing it a little bit further. Because if you get that pass rusher and you go out and you add another safety, because this is the other problem that people don't want to talk about. When your two starting safeties go down, those backups is not good.
And it shows.
You know what I mean? Like they're not them. They look good against those teams who don't have quarterbacks. Like when we went against Washington, yeah, everybody was gassed on that. Not me, but everybody was gassed on that.
Mhm. So with now with Frank coming back, I'm expanding this year. This year done. So, but look, going forward, coming out of the first round in the draft, I think we pretty much set at linebackers. So should we go DT first round, or should we go ahead and try to do something with that offensive line?
And you need a pass rusher.
I agree. I agree. I was asking
Like,
your thoughts.
I ain't trying to be funny, man.
I'm talking about a first round pick one. Somebody that's going to, because their contract can last 4 or 5 more years because of the option.
You need a pass rusher.
Yeah.
I don't care how you get it done.
Have both of them. Mm-hmm.
I don't care how you get it done. You need a pass rusher.
Yeah, that's the most glaring thing right now. And then you can use other rounds for the other stuff. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because you got to think, right? If you sitting up there and you're sitting up there, let's say they're picking in the teens, because that's what they're gonna be. That's what they look like they're about to be, somewhere in the teens. Mm-hmm. All right, so they picking in the teens. You sitting up there. Let's say you maybe 6 picks out, and it's a guy that you know is going to be a dog at pass rusher, whoever that is. Then you go and get him, but you can weigh that to the other part of it, because I don't know if I want to bring Alex Anzalone back. I might want a more athletic linebacker. I might want to bring in another corner. I might, you got holes directly on the defense. But I'm starting with pass rusher first.
Right. Because the pass rusher can help eliminate any problems you're having with the linebackers if you can doing that.
Yeah, but here's the thing. You got to have the pass rush. And like Looney Tune point out, I'm only taking a D tackle if he's a great pass rusher. You telling me it's a guy in the draft
not a D
tackle that's going to be Warren Sapp? Hey, bring that man over. Hell, he could be in Ndamukong Suh. I'll take it.
Yeah.
But the only point I'm trying to make is we have to at some point start to really look at this team and say, damn, we got some major problems over here. And it's not coaching. It's player execution, and the players are who they are. Yes, I wanted Muhammad. I spotlighted that. I got receipts for it. Yes, I wanted Hassan. But I also told you that these are not starting DNs.
No, we need a starting DN. We need somebody that can apply pressure.
Yeah, and I also agree with Brandon, who says you need a young, talented quarterback too. Yeah, you need a quarterback that can actually push for the fucking spot.
Yeah. Right, 4th or 5th.
I'm just saying in general, but people have not been pushed. Their spots have been fairly safe.
Mm-hmm.
It's been
wasn't much to fight to get the spots.
Well, listen, I was
coming from where we came from. Those spots were horrible.
Well, I can tell you right now, look no further. Like if you look at, I'm telling you this. I told people this when it happened. I said the Bears and the Vikings and the Packers did things to directly go at the Lions.
Mm-hmm.
They did things to directly for the Lions. The Packers receiver ain't doing shit. Matthew Golden, I don't know what's going on with Dog. Dog ain't doing nothing. Right? He's not even a factor.
No.
Okay. So, like, ain't even nothing for us to even talk about with Dog, okay? But in terms of the other stuff, it's like, come on, man. Like, come on, man. It just, I guess, or I'm at the point where I'm just like, when do you start addressing? When do you start addressing the weaknesses? When?
And that's a Brad thing, bro, that we've been fighting uphill about. But yeah, but I still want to stay in the fight of that we need, even with all the holes, a good DN. That would be a great start. So I'm gonna let somebody else jump on here for you. I know you got some people waiting, man. But a hell of a show. I appreciate it.
Yep, I'll bring in my next guest, man. Appreciate Ed W for coming through. Bring in my man John Kapler next. John, what's going on? Talk your stuff, man.
I have a letter from Brad Holmes to the fans. Dear fans, I heard that you wanted an edge rusher. I heard it over and over again. And at the managerial meetings this offseason, I told you, I don't care what you want. I'm Brad Holmes. I know it all. I'm not going to listen. The more you push, the more I'm going to do the opposite. So I went and got the best defensive tackle. Linebacker Jahad Campbell. Why would I get him? We have just signed the future best linebacker in Derek Barnes. We don't need this Jahad Campbell character. Let the Eagles have him. We can't do it the fans' way. We can't do it the smart way because we need to win the Super Bowl in a way that no one would thought it could be done. So when they do interviews with me, I can say, it was my brain. My brain got us the Super Bowl. I did it the complete opposite way of every team that has ever won the Super Bowl. Letter from Brad Holmes.
And I ain't gonna lie, I don't have a
I got
problem.
to do it my way.
I
Brad Holmes.
don't have a problem with them giving us the middle finger, but you also got to take the middle finger back when we are telling you that, hey, this is bullshit. It's not working, and you do the opposite.
But see, here's the thing. I'm an armchair GM. You're an armchair GM.
Yep.
You're not in the NFL. You don't see it. See, I have this guy called Brad Holmes who sits 50 yards away and actually really sees where this guy's hand is. You guys see it from the TV. You guys don't see what I see. I don't care. You're an armchair GM. You know nothing. You've never been in the league. I don't care if you played football when you were in high school. You know nothing. I'm Brad Holmes. I have real people.
I just feel like it's not even just yesterday's game.
It's been a couple games. And the crazy thing is, he won't get another edge rusher because we just drafted one. We're forgetting we did draft one. We drafted the very energetic, the very barky, who barks at the training camp. The first ever Israeli player that's just going to come in and he's going to be the next guy.
Egyptian.
Sorry, Egyptian. Thank you.
And he's a guy that I wanted because I compare him to Kominski, a guy that you can come in relief and give you energy. But I told people he's not a starting DN. He's just not. He
barks. He has energy. He brings grit, and that's going to fire every other player up. Just like when Frank Ragnow comes back, that's going to fire up the players. He's going to say, I didn't come back to fucking lose. Get your shit together. This is a great move.
Listen, I just feel like, again, this is another thing I want to point out too. I can't tell you how many Lion fans came in here and told me, oh, DeAndre Swift can't run between the tackles. He don't seem to have a problem doing that shit with the Eagles, and don't seem to have a problem doing it with the Bears.
Today.
Like he didn't want to be here.
250 yards, him and the other running back put together plus.
Yeah,
they ran all over the damn Eagles front line.
He didn't want to be here. He didn't want to be here. He was trying to get out. You notice he ain't been hurt as much. He didn't want to be here. I totally understand it. Like, I don't blame him. He didn't want to be here. All right. But like let's keep it a buck. Let's keep it a buck. There are people that we had that we could have used. Then you have people saying, "Oh, Gibbs can't run between the tackles." Like, we got to stop with this. We got to stop with this trying to make ourselves feel better when the girlfriend break up with us and get with somebody else where he's short. Who cares? He got the girl that you want.
You get a good O-line, any running back can do anything given the opportunity.
I mean, and it's the facts. It's facts. Absolute fact. And again, I'm not here to do the I told you so. I'm merely here to just say we find ways to demonize players who leave us. From Darius Slay to Calvin Johnson to Barry said, we get emotional about it. But some people have legitimate reasons to get the hell on when they're not being utilized right.
And here's another thing. Let's say Brad Holmes does do what we want and gets the edge rusher. Who's to say he even gets the opportunity? We traded away 3 third-round freaking picks for Isaac Tesla. And through the whole season, he's gotten all of 7 catches?
Well, he had 9 before yesterday. He had 9 catches before yesterday, right? He got 2 more. You do the math.
Oh, wow. Just barely double digits. Oh, my God. Wow. Because he has to earn it, and we have to tell him when he's ready. Doesn't matter all the work he puts in when we think he's ready. But we're going to trade away all these picks. So even if we do get a guy which, like you said, we could be in the early 20s. Hell, we could even be 18th, between 18th and 24th. Brad, honestly, and this is going to piss people off, but it would be better if we had the 18th draft pick. And then maybe Brad Holmes can trade back to the, let's say, 24th pick and pick up a third-round pick and another fifth, and we get more options. But he won't. I highly doubt he would. Because look at the Tesla thing. He traded away picks that could have been used, and he's not using that pick. That is 3 players that we could have used.
You want to hear something interesting?
I always want to hear something interesting.
Aiden Hutchinson got 8.5 sacks, right? And I know we love to talk about pressures. Okay,
It disrupts the play.
Can you name the next highest sack person on our team?
I'm going to guess Aiden with 8.
Aiden is 1. Who's at the Aiden?
Do they have more or less than him?
They have less. 2.5 less.
Muhammad.
Ding, 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 ding. Watch this. James Houston, who has less snaps, was on the Detroit Lions with Aiden Hutchinson and had 8 sacks in a very short window and was not utilized the next year. I blame the head coaches for that. All right. Then goes over to Tampa Bay, who didn't use him. Let him walk. He came back to Detroit. We didn't use him. Right?
Nope.
And he goes over to Dallas, and Dallas uses him in situational pass rushing. He got 4.5. He got 4.5, right? And you go and look at the Lions, and your next highest sack totals come from linebackers Derek Barnes and Jack Campbell at 4. Brian Branch is 5 at 2.5. Alex Anzalone got 1.5 sacks at 6. And Tyrus Wheat, I don't even know how the hell we ended up with him, but hey, he's 7. I'm sorry, he's 7 with 1.5. Marcus Davenport got 1 sack. Now, watch this, people. Just for the record. Do you want to know where? Because I know people love to talk about the rankings. They love rankings.
Oh yeah, rankings are freaking terrific.
Let me get the rankings, and then I'm gonna make sure I get my next guest in here. But I want to get the rankings in. The Lions are currently ranked 4th in points scored, 4th in the league, and they are 16th in points scored against. I'm gonna let that sink in for a minute for those in the back. Okay, 16th.
Pathetic.
All right.
Well, I was just told, I believe Tuesday, I just heard on a morning YouTube Lions show that our defense has the potential to be elite. Elite what? Elite garbage?
I have the potential to be 7'5" if I go to Turkey and get leg surgery. I mean, what we doing here? What we doing here?
And again, this comes from a armchair YouTube GM. No disrespect to him, but armchair GM. Just like we all have bad takes, and sadly, Brad will never listen to us because of such takes.
The sad part is this though. We got 5 games left.
Even if we're wrong.
We got 5 games left. All right. 5. Your highest paid guy don't even have double-digit sacks. Now, he's going to eventually get it in those, maybe get to 10. But that's not good enough. That's average.
No.
That's average. That's not
the
something
sad
that
thing with 5 games left, I can see us winning 2. I honest to God, I could see us just winning 2. You have Dallas, who's coming in hungry, who is their last 2 games. They have just beat the 2 teams that were in the Super Bowl. They're coming in against us when we just whooped their ass last week. Then you're playing the Rams, who are the number 1 team in the division. Then at the end of the year, you have the red hot Chicago Bears, who just did what they did today. It's tough sledding.
Listen, I just want people to understand.
I love my Lions. I want them to, but I'm a realist.
Yeah, and I
I'm not a
just want
hater.
people to
I'm a
understand something.
realist.
At the end of the day, we have the same problem that we had before Brad Holmes got here.
Yep.
We had the same problem.
True.
The Cleveland Browns have more sacks than you. The Cleveland Browns have more sacks than you.
And how many wins do they have?
I don't even want to go down the road. I don't want to embarrass nobody.
I'm just saying. Sometimes sacks don't mean everything.
It
But
don't.
it sure damn would help, though.
It don't. And again, this is just merely me pointing this out. They still got a chance to make the playoffs, but what's the point?
No, they ain't got a chance to make the playoffs. Not the
They're
way
gonna finish it. They're gonna finish with a winning record. So we can't say we had a losing season. But for me, it was Super Bowl or bust. So that was my standard. It was simple.
And then what's going to be sad is all the fans, whether they are bandwagon fans, fans who have just joined because it's popular to be a Lions fan, who are going to say, I'm done with this team, who are going to have the merchandise and jersey burning and the big old tantrums, get drunk after the last game like certain YouTubers did, cry, whine, piss, and moan, and say, I'm done, and throw away all their stuff. But yet come back before free agency starts and say, man, I'm the biggest fan. I can't wait for the team. We're going to do great freaking things. Can't wait for those people. Can't wait for those videos to come out. Derek.
So again, like I said, I'm gonna let everybody talk they talk. I got one more guest in the back. I want to let him talk his talk, John. Appreciate you, brother.
Thank you for coming on. God bless. Thank you for coming on for all of us. It's always good to see you, Luke.
Hey, appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. Let's bring in my next guy, Crimson Shadow, in the building. What's going on, sir?
Nothing much. Just vindicated. I'm being right again, and wish I wasn't. Kind of on that, I've just got the Indiana Purdue game on, swapping back and forth through Texas and A&M and all that. Yeah, I'm not shocked by this season at all. It was the most predictable outcome I ever seen. Once I saw Ragnar was gone and Zeitler didn't come back, I knew this was the offense was going to stagnate. It wasn't Ben Johnson. I keep seeing the debates in Discord about if we had Ben Johnson. Man, if you have Ben Johnson, it ain't going to mean anything. For how fast the plays keep falling apart on us, it's like, we don't have got to play in edgewise. Like, I'm already getting into an argument because I compared frickin' Goff to John Kitt, a better version of John Kitna. Sorry, I hate to say that. The dude sits in the pocket 20 years and then just gets blasted up the middle or right behind him, just like Kitna did. That's what it's reminding me of.
You know what's funny? I think that fans' frustrations are coming in because they want more, right? But when I look at it, I didn't have a lot of fans who wanted more. Remember I did a show where I'm like, give me your prediction.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that wasn't. I'm like, hey, they're like, what's yours? I don't really care about the record. Super Bowl or bust. You need to get to a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
This is the fifth year. It's the fifth year. Okay. You went through your growing pains and changing the culture in the first year. Okay, cool. Second year, same thing. All right. Third year, you took off. Fourth year, we got a little bit closer. Somewhat. With 15-2.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm like, what's the next step? Life is about progression. And we need to be progressing in a way that makes us better. And we didn't do that.
I think I recall they predicted that we were not going to make the postseason. So I hate to say it, but that might actually come true where we don't make the playoffs. If that doesn't happen, oh my God.
You need this is what you need to have happen. And you need to have the 49ers to suck. And on top of having the 49ers to suck, you need the Packers to beat the Bears twice. You need the 49ers to beat the Bears. That's 3 losses. And then you need to beat the Bears yourself. That gives them 4. which is essentially give them 7 losses, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you have to win out.
Yeah, and considering we're struggling against teams like the Giants, I'm surprised you didn't bring up the New York game, how pathetic that was. The fact that we struggled to beat even the Giants. Do we want to even go over their record? Seriously? We're struggling against the Giants now?
We struggled because you couldn't touch the quarterback. Listen, they touched our quarterback often, right? You couldn't touch. Jameson Winston was sitting back there doing Harlem Shake, eating W's. You know what I'm saying? Like he with all the little antics he was doing.
What's even worse is I made that one comparison. Man, it'd be real nice if you had Kirby Joseph back there to, pick off famous Jameis with his famous turnovers. You're over there just dying and whatnot. Then you come out and compare Goff to Dak, and I'm over there just fucking reaving.
Well,
the Dak comparison. Here's
the other thing, too. It's bigger than pass rush, too, because when you go past the pass rush part of it, the defense does enough for your offense to get opportunities to score. We're not scoring. Even in yesterday's game, how many times did they get the ball back to the offense for them to go up? The defense held them to a field goal first. First. All right? And after holding them to a field goal, you get the ball back, and what happens? You go out. Matter of fact, let me double check, make sure I'm not going crazy. I'm going to double check this. But I'm almost sure that's how it played out. You got to score there. Because once you start putting points on the board with them, it changes how they play.
Yeah, I can't even be mad about the BS timeout call that the refs gave the Packers because it's like there was plenty of chances to catch back up, but you didn't. You can't even blame the refs on this one. You just you got the opportunities and you stalled out because you kept getting blown up the goddamn middle constantly.
And I don't want to overlook that fact, but let's take a look at it. Like I don't think people understand. You really our offense should be doing more, but they have a lot of miscues. You sit there, defense hold them to 3. Good job, defense. You go 3 plays and you're out. They had literally 10 yards after the first quarter. I want y'all to understand this. 10 yards. Okay? But if you score here, it's 7-3. Then the defense gets another stop after you couldn't score. Right? And you go 5 plays and punt. That should have been another touchdown right there. That should have been 14-3. Right? Then they come out and score a touchdown. It should have been 14-10. Then you score, making it 21-10. And then they score, making it 17-21. And then you score again, making it 20. But you see my point? How they're the ones chasing us? But instead, we never got the lead one time in this game.
It's so many goddamn opportunities to do it. You never freaking capitalized on it.
And it's not even just that game. I can go through and look at the Eagles game. Same thing happened in this game where I'm like, bro, you're just chasing. They're getting you the ball back, but you're chasing. So look, they go out, get a stop, punt. You throw an interception. They come out, hold them to 3. They hold them to 3. You punt. Then after you punt, they force them to punt. And what you do? You punt. Like the defense is giving you opportunities.
And honestly, and it's like I've said this before. If you don't have a top 5, top 3 offensive line, this team cannot function. I'm just going to be blunt. It's like this. Goff cannot extend plays. And on top of that, this O-line cannot make any holes for our running backs. They just completely stall out. We've got great receivers, well, when they're healthy. But if you're constantly getting blown up the middle and your QB's not able to freaking extend plays or anything, it's just going to end up turning into this. How many times has Goff been sacked this season? This is definitely the most he's ever been sacked in any season.
I don't know if this is the most he's been sacked in any season.
Well, I mean, and Lions. I mean, I'm not sure on the Rams part, but maybe the 2021 season. But no,
I mean, Jared Goff thus far has only been sacked 26 times this season.
that still sounds like a lot.
I mean, in general, yeah. But the question is this the most he's been sacked in a season?
Actually is a really good question. I don't know what the Rams. I'm not really sure.
Yeah, in 2021 he was sacked 35 times with the Lions.
We're pretty on pace with that.
And with the Rams in 2018 he was sacked 33 times. And in 2024, he was sacked 31 times. So he's definitely on pace to pass 31. Shit. I
Yeah,
mean,
it's very likely the guy cannot. I can bet you he's going to surpass that. The guy cannot extend plays. It's just not in him, and he's so addicted to that being a pocket passer. And since we don't got we got Frank now, but like you said, with his freaking toe like it is, how much of Frank are you really going to get?
good point. And again, people, get your questions in the chat ready so I can get ready to hit on those. But this is a good question right here from Brandon. Why is Sam Laporta not getting 15 targets a game? Well, he definitely should be getting more targets a game, but they just it's about satisfying friends.
Also, it's kind of hard to get targets right now when you're on the IR.
I know that, but his point isn't about him being IR. Before that, they were targeting St. Brown more than anybody else, and St. Brown was dropping passes, whereas Laporta was not.
Yeah, I mean, you could also make the argument, why the heck aren't we using Tesla when the guy has been pretty sure-handed?
I mean, I don't understand how the hell Tesla wasn't getting no love. He got one target against the Eagles, and I'm like, you don't have no Laporta. How can you not get the ball to him? They play way too much man coverage for a team that doesn't have pass rush. Hell, you can play zone coverage. You don't have no pass rush. It's only so much you can do. like I ain't trying to be funny. No pass rush means you're gonna have a long day on defense. It just is what it is.
Not having Arnold.
You want athletic? Go sign Isaiah Simmons. He's out there. I've been saying this for 3 years. Isaiah freaking Simmons. Yeah, at this point, Isaiah Simmons will be a situational backup guy and a guy that you can use in different combinations, but they won't sign people like that. They want nice guys. They don't want anybody who got a checker pass. Offense been struggling bad since training camp. I know. Even though we second in scoring because we run up the score versus Brad teams, but can't beat good teams.
I mean,
yeah, we can't beat. It's a problem. Problem with coaches like Campbell is the team plays aggressively like the mentality, but the talent isn't up to the task. You can win, but Campbell is just like a milk wagon.
like a milk wagon.
I would put it like this. I love the way that Dan Campbell coaches, and I have no problem with the fourth down. Fourth down is the only play where fans, if he get it, what big balls he has, them kahunas. Somebody go get him a dump truck for them balls, right? But the fourth down plays are the only plays that we have hindsight on more than any other play.
And really, that's the big argument right now I keep seeing in Discord is the guys that want to throw Dan under the bus versus the guys who want to throw Brad under the bus. And you kind of called that was the first person that they were going to start blaming was Dan. I remember you calling that shit, and I'll give you a kudos on that one.
Yeah, they're going to blame the coaches first. I told you the order is going to go in. I said first they're going to blame the coordinators. Then they're going to blame the head coach.
It's like, I don't know how people aren't really putting together. It's like, dude, have you seen our O-line who we lost? Have you not figured out that this team needs a freaking top-end O-line? Have you not figured out the weaknesses on this team? Coaching it, you can go get a Hall of Fame, won a Super Bowl coach. I don't care. You ain't going to move the chains with this. Everything is set up like a freaking play, and if one actor is off, this team will not fucking work. It's just how it is. This offense is stifled without Frank, without freaking Zeitler. And I mean, and now with Mahogany not being in, and now what the heck's his name? Owoski, and Owoski's and Glasgow is Glasgow, and who the heck was the last center we had in there yesterday? Because good God. What the hell is his name?
and low tier trash. You got, I mean, he said nice guys. You mean Brian Branch helmet to helmet hits and James Brian Branch is not tall, people. I'm gonna just put it out there to you. I don't know how much lower he can get without breaking somebody's knees. I'm serious. He's not tall, and a lot of those hits is him. If you see him, he's leading with his shoulder. The head gonna go where the head gonna go. Okay.
Yeah,
So-
Branch gets a lot of crap for
And I don't have a problem with the way Branch played. Branch balled the hell out yesterday, and he had that one miscue where he looked back and it's kind of stopped. But I get it. Now, James, on the other hand, is driving me nuts. I'm not gonna lie to you. He's driving me nuts. Every freaking catch, we down 10, and you got to celebrate every time. Go line the fuck up and get ready.
Dude, he reminds me of Roy Williams. He really does. Freaking every time you get a first down, gotta celebrate.
Oh my God! Like, please. And I agree with Easy. We are only as good as the offensive line. It says it's like the Packers in a lot of ways. Yeah,
God, that hurts.
it
That
says
does
I'm a
hurt.
Packers fan, and I'm going to tell you, Brad Holmes has built this team like the Packers.
I don't know. I don't know how
That's
much
intriguing.
I like.
That's intriguing because I don't know. But I tell you this much. Listen, Brandon, what I will do is I'm going to explore that more to see if he did do that, because I'm thinking to myself, all right.
I don't think so, honestly. I really
Yeah,
don't.
I
see
don't-
this team.
I mean, initially I'm not seeing it, but I might need to explore it a little bit more. Just, you never know.
Let me know what you find on that, because the past few drafts the Packers have made, no, I can't think of anything that's like that. I mean, I've seen enough Tom Grossi reactions. That guy has been begging for a receiver for years. They get a receiver and
Yeah.
they don't do nothing.
But you
with
know what, though? I hate that. See, when you say that now that sounds like some Brad Holmes shit. Because how long have I been screaming for defense? For years.
Yeah, but it's opposite.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Maybe opposite, but it's saying the same stuff. Like, he literally is saying, hey, we wanted a receiver for years, and it took him this long before he finally got one. And that receiver ain't doing diddly squat for him, but it's not the point. And I've been screaming, can we get some help on defense? But he been getting scrags and pieces. And man, you know what? Yeah, I got some homework to do, Brandon. I appreciate that. I got some homework to do.
Yeah, but when have you ever seen Brad trade for like a pass rusher like they did with Micah Parsons? Did you even have anything comparable to that?
Don't get me the line. But
I know.
but
I know.
you know, Bob Quinn, when Bob Quinn came in here, I want to say his first pick was Decker.
Yeah, I think it was Decker back then. And then
Let me
after
double check that. I need to see, because to me, I'm really having a hard time with seeing the difference between these two guys in terms of their approach. So I got to just figure it out. But I'm telling you, you will be surprised to see that, like, it's not as different as people would like to think that it is.
the only
So Bob
difference
Quinn, go
sorry.
ahead.
The only difference I can really say from between Bob versus Brad is Bob was very high on getting a lot of Patriot guys, especially in free agency. He was always about trying to poach the Patriots.
I fully understand that. But yeah, so this is his first draft. He walks out with Taylor Decker. So he went trenches. Taylor Decker, D tackle, center, safety, guard, linebacker, quarterback, D tackle, long snapper. That is fucking hilarious. And running back. All right. So let's take his first 4 picks: tackle, D tackle, center, safety. And Brad Holmes' first pick was Penei Sewell, right? So offensive tackle, D tackle, D tackle, DB. This shit is funny. Listen, people. Listen.
Well, I will say there was more hits on this draft than what Bob's. I will say on that. I mean,
I'm listening.
Ashawn wasn't bad.
Okay. So Ashawn got a Super Bowl.
Yeah,
Okay.
but I don't know. Ashawn was
And I
good,
didn't- and I didn't like him.
He was
Right.
He was,
Graham Glasgow is still on our team.
yeah, he was with the Broncos for a
Dacker
hot-
is still on our team.
Yep.
Killer Bruce gone. Fine.
Yeah.
Then the next draft, he went linebacker, cornerback, receiver, linebacker, tight end, cornerback, who's now a receiver, DN, quarterback, DN. Pat O'Connor
Oh, O'Connor! Shoot, I did
is
not
still
know.
on our team.
I did not know O'Connor was a freaking Bob Quinn pick. Oh my god!
Right? So
I mean, I'll give it to him. O'Connor's not the worst tackle to have out there.
I'm just saying, there's still some people that's here from this,
Wow.
and the ones that are not highlighted, like in the dark blue, that mean they're out of the league. All right. So both of them hit on a late receiver. So he got him in the third. Let's go look at his second draft.
I mean, Maben was on the
DN.
team last year.
Receiver, DN, DB. So in this one, you would say Hutchinson hit, Jamison is a hit, Pascal a miss, Kirby a hit, James Mitchell is a miss.
Definitely.
Malcolm Rodriguez, I'm gonna give a hit. I'm gonna give a hit for James Houston, even though he's not with us no more. And we'll say miss on Lucas.
Where
and
did he
then-
go to? I wonder. He was okay.
Yeah, and you know what else I noticed about these drafts too? They changed based on who the coach was. So in 2018, they went Frank Ragnow, Kerryon Johnson, Tracy Walker, Deshaun Hand, Tyrell Crosby, Nick Baldwin. Okay. Frank is a hit.
Mhm.
Tracy Walker was a hit. I don't care what nobody say. Tyrell Crosby, I'm gonna say was a hit, but he had his own personal issues with the team and how they treated his injury.
Kerryon cared too much about freaking brands and never really.
I don't even know if I know that, but I just know his ass stayed hurt too, which is another one of the
Mhm.
problems that we had. Then TJ Hawkinson, I'm gonna say a hit. Jelani Tavai, with us, I'm gonna say was a miss, but in the right system, he's a hit for New England.
I
Will
still
Harris,
can't believe it. Will Harris is still in the league.
yeah, no fucking way. Austin Bryant, no. Amani Aworiye, no. Fogum, Johnson, Isaac, no. Okay, and then this was the year I told people you need to fire him now. I wanted him gone after the first year, and people wasn't listening, and they allowed these people to make more picks. And ironically, Jeff Okudah, who's on the Vikings, was exactly who I thought he was. DeAndre Swift was a hit. Julian Ocore, miss. Jonah Jackson, I'm gonna say hit.
Yeah.
And everything after that, we'll just leave it there.
Quintez went out in the weirdest way. Freaking
That's some stupid stuff.
that was so dumb.
So Penei Sewell, no brainer. Levi Onwuzurike, I'm not calling that a hit. I think that's a miss. Aline, a hit. Iffy, I'm gonna give this a push. So. Amara hit. Derek Barnes hit. Jamar Jefferson miss. Aiden Hutchinson hit. Pascal, no. Joseph, yes. So there's not really much of a difference. I forgot we even had Wingo. I'm gonna leave that alone.
Yeah, Wingo, he's back now, isn't he?
I don't know what the hell going on. I'm listening. Listen,
can we say
your guess is
Vaki's
good as mine.
miss? I don't get the Vaki pick was weird.
Hand was awesome. He was hurt. We had a lot of people that was hurt, which is another thing that I'm surprised that Lion fans ain't noticed with Brad Holmes is he's doing the same thing Bob Quinn do and taking a lot of hurt people.
Mm-hmm. That was a bummer too. I really liked Hand back in the day, and when I'm shocked to see he's still in the league with his health. I would have figured he would have retired from that.
Yeah, Amon Ra was a guy, Brandon B. If you go back to some of my draft videos, he was a guy I wanted bad. And I thought, hey, you can get him in the second round. I had no idea that he was going to fall to the fourth round because there were so many other receivers that people was hyped about. And you know, I just saw him escort people off the field and blocking. I said, that's all I care about. like that's all I cared about. So I get it. Wingo is perpetually inactive because Lopez took his job. Yeah, it's crazy work. Howdy, Luke. We should have scored early, maybe. Yeah, we should have scored early and often. They gave him opportunity. Yeah, so I agree with you. It should have scored early and often.
What's our stance on Rakestraw at this point? I'm thinking at this point, that guy cannot stay healthy.
My stance on Rakestraw, he's another guy that I was high on, and I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know if he's really hurt.
Really?
I don't believe that he's truly this hurt.
All right. Are you thinking this is like a Broderick Martin situation where he's just not good enough?
I think they're trying to bring his development along slow, and they're using the system to do just that. Because Rakestraw is one of them guys that I wanted because I know he can play safety and corner. He's like Brian Branch. He can play both. The problem is he's going to get his opportunity next year, and they're going to find some way to cut him, and then he's going to go to another team and then perform, and then we're going to be like, oh, man, why he didn't do that here? Well, I don't care. He didn't do it here. It's like he could have done it here. The question needs to become, why didn't he? And why was he held back? So that's all I'm saying to that. Let me make sure I don't miss anybody. Again, any questions you have, put them in the chat. I'm going to do about another few more minutes, and then I'm going to get out of here. And then my plan is to go live tomorrow. I don't even know what time that game is, the Michigan and Ohio State, because I just don't care. I don't because even now when I used to watch college games, man, I used to watch them with admiration and see like who's really doing what, who's playing outside of the system because they are a talent. And I just don't see it. I took a lot of heat for saying that people like Chase Young is not what people think he is. And I was told, oh, he's a generational talent. That aged well. You know, it's funny because the only position that I struggle with, and I can openly admit this, the only position that I struggle evaluating most cases is quarterback and like certain like offensive linemen, certain positions in the line. Tackle is one of the ones where I seen tackles in college and I go, dang, that looks like sound blocking, everything looks like the fundamentals are there. And I see the kick steps and I see the movement. But then there be some people that I look at and I'd be like, why do I feel like he lunging at the guy? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I when I look at people, I look at techniques that align to their true positions title.
So do you think that the prediction came true that Williams became the next Mozzie? Because I don't know. Like I said, he looks about as predictable as I thought.
I think Williams, I can't. So some fans are going to hype him up because they're like, okay, cool, ooh, hype him up. I think Williams is exactly what he was supposed to be, a run-stopping guy.
Which is fine, but not.
But my problem with him was it just seemed like he's unaware of what the fuck is going on.
That makes sense for first-year rookies, I guess, but I don't know. Williams has had moments where it's like, oh, that's freaking good. But other than that, it's like, how much impact is this really having to, move the needle,
Yeah, and again, no knock to them, but I totally understand it. I get it. So we've been on for an hour and a half. And
yeah.
I want to say some of this for tomorrow because I want to do some things a little different for tomorrow. But let me just tell you this, and again, shout out to you, Brandon B. Yeah, because you had a lot of Lion fans over here trying to downplay Michael Parsons, and you should have saw me arguing with them. Like, man, are we really doing this? This is what we doing? Like, we really doing this? Oh, Parsons can't play the run. He can't play the run. I'm like, man, give me a break. Give me a break.
And sure as hell getting Goff's face.
Like, come on. His job is his job, and it's the reason why. This man, like I had, like if you heard some things that I've read and had to talk to people about, you would be surprised. And I told every last one of them, if Parson came here to the Lions, y'all be talking about some Super Bowl. Who's Smith-Ada? Lock it in.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I get it. I totally get it. But I do. When I'm evaluating players, it's technique. And Mike Green to me was the perfect compliment.
And if you couldn't get Mike Green, go out and get Trey Hendrickson. Really, your Super Bowl
Well,
window.
you could have drafted Mike Green.
Yeah.
Because you got to think about
Mike Green twice.
You got to think about it, right? If you go through, right here, matter of fact, I'm going to go through it real quick and show this. And I know people are going to say, well, we know that this is what happened, but I'm like, it doesn't matter on what we know that what happened. When you took, let me try to make this big. When you took Williams, right, at 28, you don't see no more D tackles coming off the board after that. You literally got up to your pick. All right. Where we at?
Well, it was Tate that was taken next.
You could have took Sanders in the second, who would have been just as good as that guy. Right? But the point I'm trying to make is by the time you made your pick, you took Tate Ratledge, right?
And
you could have had a pass rusher twice because Mike Green was there twice. And the Ravens didn't need a pass rusher. They just took the talent.
That's the most painful part about all this. Like I said, you've had an opportunity to take him twice. No, don't get me wrong. I love the Tate Ratledge pick because you needed it. If we didn't have Tate Ratledge, if we didn't draft him, oh God, I shudder to think how bad this would have looked.
And if we go and look at the current standards for the rookies at DN, Jalen Walker, who took it in the first round, got 5 sacks. James Pierce got 4. Mike Green got 2.5. Right? And people are going to say, well, that's not good, Luke.
Well, out of how many snaps?
He's situational. If you go and look at his snaps compared to the rest of the people on there, well, Luke, if he's so good, how come he can't beat nobody else out for it? Because they still have their commitments too.
Do you know how many edges freaking Baltimore has?
They had to trade one away because they was like, okay, cool. Like, so let's say, for example, right? He's only started one game. He's played in 12, but he's only started one game. All right? So I want people to think about this. And then if you go through the snap counts, he's got what? 532 snaps, which is about 66%. Because they are exclusively using him on pass down situations, and they are absolutely utilizing other people. And you're going to look at their roster, they got a bunch of freaking pass rushers who are getting them snaps from him. They're moving them in, but on our team, he would have been a full-time pass rusher.
Yep.
Full-time.
Are you going to tell me that Davenport would have beaten out Mike Green? No way.
He was going to beat him out because they were going to make him beat him out. And on here, they got him at outside stand-up rushing linebacker, but they got Kyle Van Noy.
He's still in the league? Holy crap.
Yeah, he on 18. Like you gotta look like, bro. You gotta look at their team and see it. Like there's still people there. That's my point I'm trying to make. They have people there that they're rotating in and around based on what's going on in the game in real time. But there are people who are taking snap counts away from him. But on our team, he would have had 97% of the snaps because we could use them. But let's just say hypothetically, right? Right? Let's just say hypothetically we move past that, right? We move past that and we look at it. All right, cool. You took Tate Ratledge. You come in the third round and you give up multiple thirds to take a receiver that you said everybody was going to take, right? Everybody was going to take this guy. That's what you did.
No fault to Isaiah. I mean, I love Tesla. Dude's
Right,
like,
but you're not using him.
exactly. That's the thing. You spent all this capital to get this guy, and he's situational as all heck. You're using him like Marvin Hall, honestly. Like the one play, and that's freaking it. No more Isaiah Tesla. Like, and then you got Dan saying there he needs to earn it or whatever. It's like, you don't pass him the ball. You don't pass him the ball. Of course he's not going to get it. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
That's the only fault I'd give Dan and his mentality.
So it's just one of the things where opportunity is there, and I'm not seeing us seize it. That's all I'm pointing out. All right, now, good people. You could have had Micah too, right? Yep, could have. You know, could have.
Honestly, I temper my expectations with Brad. I don't ever see Brad getting out of that phase of just constantly going to the Dollar General and getting free agents, because that's just how the guy's been for 5 years. I can't see him changing that.
Davenport must go. Everybody talking about how much of an impact he gonna make. Dude ain't so he meant to say dude ain't do shit. Then we gotta watch guys we passed on ball on other teams. Shout out to Corey Patterson, man. Listen, bro, you preaching to the choir because you're right. The Davenport thing blows my mind, and this is directly like I don't care what Dan Campbell come to you. If I'm the GM, I work with my head coach. If I'm looking at a player who's constantly hurt, I'm telling him, "Do you trust me?" Yeah. Then I'm telling you, we got to move on from this player and get somebody who's going to be more available and get us those production.
What's even more insulting was the last time when he got hurt. You remember how he got hurt where he got a freaking sack, and then he gets hurt then. It's like he does the one play, gets one play, gets hurt. If that doesn't sum up his entire career, I don't know what does.
Yeah, I mean, all I can say to you is this. We as a team need to be better in such a way that allows us to how can I word this? We need to be better in such a way that allows us to really take that next leap. See, this is the problem. This is the thing. A lot of the teams right now, Packers, Bears, they're winning, right? So they're going to have a harder schedule next year, which means you're now going to have another easier schedule, which is why I wanted you to go hard last year, because your schedule was easy enough that you can get there if you make the moves. Your schedule wasn't easy this year.
Nope.
And the Bears-Packers schedule won't be easy next year. And depending on how you finish the season, your schedule will be somewhat hard too, but not as hard as theirs.
And the thing about it is our division is going to be a problem for the next couple of years because our division has become a freaking nightmare now. You could argue it's the hardest division in football right now.
Well,
it's a freaking bloodbath right now.
It's a new NFL. Packers don't make trades like this, but if the value is right, they do it. Yeah, that sounds like some Brad Holmes shit right there. You, Brandon, you might be on to something. You might be on to something. That's some stuff Brad Holmes would say. You know,
God,
and I'm not even being mad. I'm just saying, fuck them picks.
I do, dude. I wish back when it was like the whole talks of Myles Garrett, Max Crosby. I wish we were on F them picks because it's like, dude, how many holes you had left except edge? Really, you barely have anything else. You can argue linebacker, but with the linebackers, at least it's serviceable. It's not as glaring as the edge.
He don't want to part with those picks. That's the
again,
listen. Nobody is talking about this. Brad Holmes don't want to part with the picks.
again, he's like
and
Smog.
first and second round picks. He don't want to part with those picks. Third round picks you can have. Fourth round picks you can have. He wants to find talent for third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and seventh round picks, and I don't blame him. But this ain't the time to be cute, because guess what? If you get a guy who plays like a first round talent using that first round pick, who cares? Like, if opportunity presents itself for you to trade Jared Goff for Lamar Jackson, and one thing is you got to give them your first and second, and you don't pull the trigger, it's something wrong with you.
The only time I think I'll ever see him do it is if he doesn't like a certain draft. Then maybe he would probably trade him first. But that's only, I think, if it's a really weak draft class. That's the only way I could see it.
Again, good people, the link is in the chat. Any questions you have, I'm all for it. I'm finna get up out of here, go play with my children. I wanted to go live yesterday, but I was too busy eating turkey and getting sleepy. Not gonna lie to you, okay? I was living my best life, all right? And he said, if you guys going to be Packers rivals for the next, they're already rivals. It's just the way it is. Division foes is just the way it is. You know? So it is what it is. But Crimson, what's your final thoughts before I get you up out of here, man? I believe I ran it enough. Love you too, Brandon B. And you got me up here thinking. Now I got to go and explore. Like, damn, are the Packers building like are the Lions building like the Packers? Like, straight up.
Oh,
I got to go do some research,
dude. You gotta let me know what you find out on that.
Yeah, I got to do some research on that. Find out, like, damn, how close is that to the truth? That's an interesting way.
Dude, he freaking on the head. I mean, man, I'm so bummed I didn't I should have came on here. Or John came out here with like the best. Writes a freaking note in a haiku about.
I know, right?
That was the best. That was the funniest.
Just flat out be like, this is his letter, his middle finger to the fans. Yeah.
Oh my
God. Again, I do not want Brad Holmes fired. I want him to be better.
Well, yeah, I don't want him fired either, but I wish he wasn't so arrogant, because the past few media, anytime he's ever talked to the media, yeah, he is an arrogant dude. I'm sorry about that. He's a smart guy. Don't get me wrong, a great drafter, but God, he is way too cocky right now. And honestly, if we don't make the playoffs, maybe that'll be the one thing. Maybe it'll be a blessing in disguise. Maybe that'll be like the moment I needed to eat humble pie. Because if there's anybody that needs to eat humble pie, it's Brad Holmes. I'm sorry.
Well, that's why this doesn't upset me. This is why I'm like, hey, I tried to tell y'all. when it went down what it was. So hey, but that's your final thoughts, man. I just want to make sure I don't do nothing.
Yeah, you're good.
All right. So he said, "Good luck, guys. Just not too much luck." Yeah, unfortunately, and I hate for people to not understand this. The Lions have to now root for the Packers to win. They have to beat the Bears twice. They have to root for the 49ers to win. To beat the Bears, the Bears need to lose. And then you need to win out and beat the Bears in the midst of that to get into the playoffs. It's just that simple. Even if you lose another game, that puts you at 6 losses. If you win all your other games, and that puts you at 11-6. So if you lose one more game and win the other remaining 4, you at 11-6. You need, and the Bears are currently at 3 losses with 9 wins. If the Bears lose to the Packers twice, they go 5. If they lose to the 49ers, they go 6. And then if you beat the Bears, they go 7 losses. It's very much possible.
And the thing about it is, if we don't, it might be a possibility where we actually get swept by the Vikings, and I hate the idea.
You know, now let me get into it. Shout out to my man John. He said, I finally figured out how Brad thinks, and I don't want Brad and Dan fired, but chill your ego, butt face, Brad. Like I get it. All right. Let me give my show, because I can't end the show unless I do it on a positive note. And today's positive quote comes from the internet. I don't know who came up with this, but it's a simple one. It says, if it cost you your peace, Okay, if it costs you your peace, then you best to be ready to have it cost their presence. I'm gonna say it again. If it costs you your peace, you better be ready for it to be costing them their presence. And I'm gonna tell you, it's funny because as the holidays came around, and as I sat around family and friends and enjoyed meals and conversation and stuff like that, I did realize something, that I relatively don't have a lot of unrest in my life. And that's a good thing. But I know there's some people right now in here listening who have some unrest. And there are some people that every time you come around, that's costing you your peace. Every time you think that you done did something, or you have somehow, some way arrived, something is trying to mess with your peace. But let me be clear to you. If they want to disrupt your peace, then you should pay them that in kind with the lack of access to your presence. See, this is the thing that people don't understand. You can be disruptive. That don't mean I have to be a part of your disruptions. You can be ignorant, but that don't mean I have to be a part of your ignorance. You can be all the things you want to be, for all the great powers to be, to see and show. But what you don't get to have is free access to me. You don't get to have my time, my presence, or me be in the midst of your BS. See, some of us need to learn how to cut people off who can't seem to understand that, hey, I'm going to pick me every time over picking you. I'm going to pick me when the life is on the line. I'm going to pick me when it comes to relaxation. I'm going to pick me when it comes to my peace. I'm going to pick me when it comes to my spirituality. I'm going to pick me. And if you're not prepared to pick yourself, then don't get upset or frustrated when somebody decides to interfere or disrupt your peace. Always choose yourself first. That doesn't make you selfish. That makes you self-aware. That doesn't make you a mean person. That makes you a person about being true to who you are. That doesn't make you an outcast. It makes you the caster of people to get them away from you. And if you are not willing to protect your peace, or to put yourself in a position to remove yourself from people who don't want to see you in peace, then please don't cry about it. Please don't get upset about it. Don't be angry about it. Look in the mirror and ask yourself, why do they think that they can just keep doing this to me? And the answer will be staring you right back in the mirror. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, hit that like, subscribe, notification bell. And if you don't do nothing else at all, don't be no chump. Please do your research. I'm out.